Impact with Youth, a series where we bring young changemakers and global thought leaders together on one platform to explore innovative ideas to create impact with youth. I am Mansi, a climate change champion from Mahua, Gujarat, and a UN India YuWaah advocate.
And I am Mohammad Siraj, a climate activist and a UN India YuWaah advocate from Titagarh, West Bengal. Today I am very excited to talk about green skills, and we are very glad to join by Mr. Shombi, United Nations Resident Coordinator in India.
Namaskar. Antarashtriya Yuva Divas ki Shubhkamnaएं. It's a great honor and pleasure to be here with both of you. You know, I think that obviously in the state of the world right now, we see the hottest days on record happening. Seems like almost every other day. We see biodiversity loss at 1,000 times greater than it would be without human activity. So these green skills are so critical. And I guess, but let me first start with the basics. When we talk about green skills, what are they? What are green skills in your view?
The skills by which we can help the environment. I'm coming from the Mahua, where the waste problem is very critical. So we do waste management. We so many people planted a recycling plant. So these are the skills, are the green skills. And as I know one of my friend, they use the software and skills and application like the Cool the Globe, by which they help to reducing carbon footprint and help to solve climate crisis. So yeah, these are the green skills.
Those are some very interesting examples, ideas in motion. Siraj?
I think greening of the economy need a particular set of skills, which may help in policy implementation. Also, these skills are especially important for the young people. As green jobs in demand, so we need more and more green skills, so that youth can learn those skills and they can implement it for the protection of our planet and for our environment.
Mr. Shombi Sharp, from your experiences, what opportunities and challenges do you see imparting green skills to the youth?
But the beautiful thing about green skills and about green jobs, investing in green economy, is that it actually also addresses other important development challenges. So India, for example, has an incredible demographic dividend, the greatest youth generation in history, more young minds to tap than any country has ever had before. And so by investing in the green economy, actually India could add an additional 35 million jobs in the green economy by 2047, the Amrit goal, like that, investing in renewable energy and electric vehicles and hydrogen, all of these sorts of things. You're creating a livable environment, sustainability for the planet, for our communities, better air quality, protecting the oceans and the rivers and these sorts of things. I mean, that's really what the Sustainable Development Goals are all about by 2030. Is the interconnectedness, that intersectorality across the different areas. What do you think is the power of youth to make the world greener? Can you share, Siraj, some experiences of yours in terms of leading impactful environmental conservation drives, and how do you see that kind of creating a movement, let's say, within your community?
As we heard from our childhood that the charity begins at home, so why not conservation begins at home? We had started a campaign which is known as Insan Teri Ganga Maili, which means that oh people, your river is very dirty. And till now we are able to put out more than 15,000 kgs of waste from only 2 Ganga Ghats in Titagarh. Titagarh is a very small area. So in those garbages, we find clothes, we find hairs, we find bangles, small pieces of glasses. If any people is going to the river for a bath or for something, this can be harmful. In that area, more than 15 Ganga Ghats are there. And more than 1,000 of peoples are coming on daily basis for their ritual, for their religious beliefs, for their entertainment purpose. And we find that the people who are coming on those Ganga Ghats, somehow they are the ones who are contributing to the pollution. Not only we are doing the cleanup drives in every Sunday, we are also trying to talk with the people in the community who are actually using that Ganga Ghats. with the people. We are also like organizing small discussion in community as well as in the schools. We are also trying to like involve stakeholders, different stakeholders, duty bearers, local municipal bodies, because they had to like install the dustbin, a proper dustbin system. If it can be installed in the Ganga Ghat, so it can also help us in our cleanup drives. We are also in process of talking with different religious leaders, what their opinions on those materials which are actually coming to the Ganga Ghats.
So, but it's wonderful to see, as you've been talking about, how it requires all of society coming together, and so it sounds like I think sometimes it's called a Jan Andolan, right?
Yes, yes.
This broader movement.
And when many people come together, it becomes a movement now.
Mansi, how about you?
My journey is very similar to Siraj, but we are working on an ocean. It's Arabian Sea. So when we go to the ocean, we see lots of waste there. There was one group called Environment Conservation Youth Club who have been cleaning beaches. So I joined them, and when we join together and create a moment, we support each other, we motivate each other. So lots of challenges we faced during this time, and we get this momentum to this movement when we participated in Tide Turner Challenge program by United Nations Environment Program. And it was a kind of thing when we upgrade our skills. We go to school and aware students and even teachers to educate students about green skills or about the environment. Do segregation of waste in your schools and say them to segregate in your home. It's kind of small skills. No? It will take 2 or 3 minutes. As I am a geologist, so I also wanted to continue my journey. I started work for Atal Bhujal Yojana, which is groundwater conservation. So we go to the Gram Panchayats and doing advocacy to save water.
Something like 2/3 of emissions, if we're looking at climate change, are coming, from household consumption behaviors. So small changes, when you aggregate, multiply that by 1.4 billion, let's say, just looking at India, can have really major changes, right? I'm so pleased YuWaah is a fantastic kind of platform to bring you together, to help provide skills. Tide Turners, as you mentioned, another important platform also. So it's about really, coming together. It's a whole of community approach, as we've said. So
how green skills is going to help us in achieving the sustainable development goals, which is going to be like, we have very less time, only 7 years left. We have to achieve it by 2030.
I think really there's been a big shift in recent years, unfortunately, for the wrong reasons, and that is that because humanity has been waging war on the environment, because we've the world is finally waking up and realizing this climate crisis that we're in. These things used to be seen a little bit as kind of like, kind of specialist areas, sort of niche areas, technical, this sort of a thing. Now, I think that we realize, this is mainstream, this is core. So there is no development without action on climate. There is no peace without a sustainable environment, and it's really at the core. So green skills, I think we can actually sort of maybe call life skills. There's no separating the two. As you said, right now we're basically at the halfway mark to 2030, and the picture is pretty dire. It's depressing. We look at only 12% of the SDGs are on track.
Exactly.
Yeah, something like a third are actually sort of not only haven't moved forward, but many are even regressing. And this is where we first of all, we look to India for leadership, because India is actually, for some of the goals, we estimate upwards of almost even maybe half of the global targets are here in India. And so that's why it's so important that India continues the progress that it's making. We've seen multi-dimensional poverty being reduced, the population from 25% now to 15% in just the last 5 years as well. Again, as we mentioned, there's incredible investments in renewable energy and technology, digital public infrastructure. So there's a lot of exciting things happening. But the green skills, this really is at the core of what needs to happen now to move the SDGs, green skills. And by bringing these together, I was just actually in Gujarat. And just one example between UN Environment Program, Renew Energy, and Seva. And this is around training women and young women how to become solar engineers, how to take advantage of this shift, of the growing excitement and investment and enthusiasm around solar in Gujarat, but in the country as a whole. And at the same time, help grow this renewable energy solar economy. Because as we know, women's female labor force participation rate is low in India, and we need to find more ways to increase that. And this is kind of a win-win proposition. We always, I grew up with these slogans or mantra, think globally, act locally, right?
Yes.
And it's so true. But the nice thing in India, because of the scale, is when you think globally, act locally, you also impact globally.
Yes.
This is the important story.
So now let's have some fun questions.
Okay.
So tell me, Mansi, if you could have dinner with one environmentalist, who it would be and why?
I would like to go with my fellow tide turner champion, who is Jaideep Jani. He started his environmental journey at the just age of 19 and initiated beach cleanup and environment conservation youth club. So what I like about him that just not talking and it's not just words but actions too.
And who is yours?
So maybe I'll give two. I'm cheating very much here. The first one would be Mahatma Gandhi.
Wow.
Right? So many, it's easy to kind of forget his messages of sustainability, environmentalism,
Yes.
Talking about the world has enough for our need, but not for our greed. And as, embodying YuWaah, be the change that you want to see in the world. So that would be my first answer. And then the second answer would be not an environmentalist, actually, but an economist, Kate Raworth, who actually is my mother's favorite economist. And so as a result, I've also really, really gotten into her work, which is basically many different things. But she created this concept of donut economics, which is basically saying, look, sustainability needs to consider, the means of development, so that kind of social and economic sustainability, and the planetary boundaries, that outer bit, right? So the environmental sustainability. And so the donut is that, bit in between. That's where the sweet spot, that's where we need to have our economies, our policies, our regulations. What have you learned? What maybe did you wish you knew in the beginning that you know now about how to start environmental movements?
Yeah, so many negative things are happening. But as a youth, what can we do? What are the solutions? We have to be solution centric. And as a youth, we have power. Tell everyone about your work and join as many as people and youth especially in your environmental journey. It personally helped in my environmental journey, so it will be helpful for everyone. And start with small steps and have faith, because we will be bring small changes, but little and so many small changes can create bigger impact. Now I want to ask you that what is the small environment action can everyone take?
I think I would say think. And the reason that I say that is because we are each faced with environmental actions, small ones, that we can take like many times each and every day. Everything, right? Whether it's you're coming home, there's a lift or something like that, and you can take the stairs or you can take the left. Just constantly think, do I have a choice here to do something better for the environment? So I'll take the stairs instead of taking the lift. Or I'll turn off the air conditioning when you leave the room, or I'll put the air conditioning at a higher temperature at 26 instead of lower, so that you're freezing and you're putting on more clothes inside. It's just I'm fascinated by the fact that there are so many moments in each and every day that we can make a choice. We have these choices. So it's just always to think at every step, do I have a choice here? And if you do, make the right choice.
Make the right choice, yes. And what about Siraj?
One single habits, we all travel for different purposes, and we all carry water bottles. So if you can carry your water bottles instead of plastic, it can be steel, it can be another material, if you can go through the landfills, you can only see the plastics. So I think if you can like change only one habits, like buying a plastic bottles, if you can carry a plastic bottles, it can make a big difference. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to join yours as well. That's definitely, I mean, saying no to plastic. That's one of those kind of choices we have each and every
Yes.
day. And so I hate being in that position where you have to choose between going dehydrated and opening a plastic bottle of
Plastic
water.
bottle,
Exactly,
yes.
exactly.
Why? Because you didn't bring your bottle. And so I bought, a bottle, a metal one, and now I'm carrying it
Wow.
around everywhere. I thought that was a lot of fun. Congratulations
Thank
to,
you.
to
Yes.
both of you.
Yes.
It was fun to just be along for the journey, for the conversation.
Thank you.
And I think you give us hope that we'll make that you young Indians will make India a green country with a green future, and again drive the
Green
world.
skills.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Mr. Shombi and Mansi, for being here today. This brings us to the end of another episode of Impact with Youth. Hope you had enjoyed as much as I did.
Yes. Wishing everyone a very happy International Youth Day, especially youth of India. Let's all learn green skills.
And download the Merry Life app.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Become a part of the YuWaah movement. Everybody can do it.
And to make India green.
High five. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. बहुत धन्यवाद.
आपका भी धन्यवाद.
Yes.